Happy Holy Day, Moors, and welcome to House of Reawakening Minds. House of Reawakening Minds exists to provide for exploration and practice of spirituality in an enlightened community dedicated to honoring the myriad of sacred pathways to the universal creator. We are a holistic center for spiritual grounding, free thought, self-discovery, and Moorish science, an awakening experience for all ages. Tonight, we are pleased to welcome back, once again, our brother, Aaron L.
Excuse me. Islam, Moors. Before I begin, as I always do, I like to go to reading from the Surah 7, Holy Huran, chapter 25, excuse me. The Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. Wait a second. You know what to come on. All right, here we go. The Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace, let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before your own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and in his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam. I'm doing this class, this subject tonight is because there's been a lot going on, and we seem to have different struggles where making our argument. You know, we use terms that are connotative, feudal, misnomers, and we put this in a cause of action, or we verbally, because when you speak, a cause of action is just not in written form. A cause of action is what you speak. Example, when they kicked in my door with a battering ram, and they said they had a warrant, I went right into a cause of action. That cause of action was brought about because they're in violation. They're not who they say they are. And that's part of a commercial paper being presented under a feudal presentment. And so that's a verbal cause of action, as I expressed to them that no, you do not have a lawful warrant because it's not from an Article 3 court with a raised seal from Article 3, a Fourth Amendment raised seal with Article 3. All parties are not identified. All parties were not notified. There's no corpus delicti or proof of that. This is the body of the crime. This is a sworn affidavit that must be attached to this so-called warrant. And now, a lawful one would have that attached. So if I commit some kind of violation or act of crime against someone and they were injured, then they would have a sworn affidavit attached to that to go with that warrant, otherwise it's fictitious. So as I demonstrated to those corporate security of the guys of being police, they see my resolve as me giving them a verbal call of action. Same thing would go in written form. But where we're stumbling as Moors, we might speak a very good written form, but then when they approach us, we lack the standing in the verbal form. Now, I know they can be intimidating with their dangerous weapons, because they don't have a right to bear arms, they have dangerous weapons. So I know they can be intimidating with their authoritative, threat, duress, and coercion way they position us, and it can make you a little nervous. Now, I'm not saying that I'm some great Superman that I wasn't nervous. I had on a hijab that day, but under that, my knees were shaking. My heart was racing. If I did my hand like that, it would probably be doing like that. But yet, I knew enough to know that you don't have a lawful warrant. You are an impersonator. And I also do enough research to know that this has already been dealt with. And use that against them. Meaning the example, the Ferguson report, 105-page report that was put out by the corporate Department of Justice under the corporate United States. However, they put this 105-page report out to show how the Ferguson Corporation, which people call Ferguson County or whatever, were putting out 2 fictitious warrants per household, i.e. they were saying 2 warrants per household. Meaning that imagine where you domicile right now, and just look up and down your highway, which you call a block, or look up and down your roadway, which you call a road, and you look at all the houses there. Imagine every one of y'all getting at least 2 of these fictitious warrants. These 2 of these bill of attainder, when they come in and make up any arbitrary line or whatever they want to hold you to a debt. They do this often, and so we need to know how to defend verbally, standing, and in written form. Because just like Ferguson, if we don't know that, we're going to suffer the same thing. And anybody that's ever watched that, the footage on that, the riots that was going on, the back and forth that was going on with the armed mercenaries against the people, even some of the armed mercenaries was coming out dressing normal like the people and throwing stones and gas back at the armed mercenaries so they could get them to throw tear gas and, keep it going so they can, make their narrative look better. They out of hand. But the thing was, when they did the investigation, the so-called Department of Justice did the investigation, came out with a 105-page report. So I used that. And I watched it right before my very eyes. These corporate security, one was calling himself Sergeant, white shirt. I watched how his eyes widened up. They widened up as soon as I mentioned that, and they immediately got out of my house. So it's based on what we say verbally and written form. And I know why he did that, because in written form, I was hitting them so hard, they want to see if it was loud, not Memorex. Did he come in Memorex, or was he loud? And this was doing the Philadelphia Corporation under the CEO, Michael Nutter, and his mayor. So I hit him because it was a provision that corporate city, that municipality set up, that if they did any violation toward him, he had did something. So there was a provision set up that he's guilty of this, or he get caught doing something where he's doing evidence of subjugation, that he can be held to that. So I found that, and I used that, and I put it in my record with my other material. And what happened is, I guess he said, well, let me see, I remember something that Grand Chief Towers Bay told me. He said, sometimes when your enforcement law is so good, they'll send people out in the area and to see who in this regency is costing us this much money. Who costing us this much money? Who are they making this much noise costing us this much money? So they come out, and before they actually kicked in the door, I was getting noticeable activity from them. Walking up the back of the driveway, things like that. But after I sent that and sued Michael Nutter, that's what it happened. They kicked in the door, popped up 6:30 something in a.m., and when they came in the door, and here's my cause of action. We got a warrant. No, you don't. And I said this in walking, with no fear, even though I was scared, no fear. And here's my cause of action. No, you don't. Because I wasn't properly notified. All parties weren't probably, because all parties got to be identified, and I had to be properly notified. Right. And, and I don't see a Fourth Amendment seal from Article 3 Court. And where's the corporate like that sworn affidavit? It must be a sworn affidavit attached to whoever said I caused this body of crime. It's fine, Chief. And so I said, well, you don't have that. And then I immediately turned my back on him and said, see, this is what the Department of Justice, even though they're corporate, this is what the Department of Justice did when they put out that 105-page report dealing with the Ferguson Corporation for the 2 warrants per household. And when they seen their eyes got bigger sauces than y'all mouths, they didn't know how to do it. And it was 19 of them. But see, my cause of action verbally was matching what I did on paper. So I noticed that when I hear, because I keep my ear to the ground, I hear we struggle here, we struggle there, and plus I do help people that call me, courtesy of Dr. Naila, giving me the information from those who contact her. Now I can't get to all of you up, I'm only one man, and there's a lot of you that's coming through, but I love to help every last one of you. So that's why we do this. At House of Awakening Minds, we come out here. I'd like to thank Dr. Naila for welcoming me out here to our Awakening Minds to bring this information forward. And Mother Tamara assisted me with getting me here. I love you and I thank you for that. And my consort is here tonight. Those who want to be on camera, I have to give respect to my consort because I stand strong before y'all because of her. When I'm telling you guys, Moors, my brothers and sisters, when I fall weak, I have to lean on Allah. And it's just that I have a great consort whose strength is unmatched. So I lean on that, and she was there that day. And I felt the power of 1,000 men. And I stood. Then I immediately after that, I went to the red out, because that's what I stood on. So what I want to do here is try to give us, I'm not going to be all deep with it. I just want to give you, some of these case laws you probably already know. I don't know if you're using them in the right way. What I'm going to bring about, it's not so much the case law, it's how you work it. You know the supreme law of the land is the supreme case law, and that's the Constitution and Treaty enforced. That will be the supreme case law for you. Remember the prophet said, you only got one supreme issue, and that's the enforcement of the Constitution. He didn't say 1, 2, 3, well, we got 1, then we got this issue over here, number 2, then we got this issue over here, number 3, and we got 4, 5, 6, 7. No, he didn't say all that. He said one supreme issue, and that's the enforcement of that Constitution. Why do you say that? Because it's the supreme law of the land. It invokes the treaties, all of them. It invokes the Declaration of Independence. It invokes the Articles of Association. It invokes the 1787 Northwest Orders. It invokes the law. Now, the Supreme Court, even that de facto, that you can use that in harmony to support your claim, and that's what I want to show you tonight. And you can use some of the stuff that is put out, like the Ferguson report, or civil orders, or Clearfield doctrine that were already ruled to support. But remember, you're coming first with that Constitution, 1791. You're coming with that because you're coming with the treaty. And you want to make sure your verbiage is right. Like I say, knowing the lawful and legal argument to properly support a cause of action. The argument. What is the lawful argument? That would be the Constitution. The legal argument would be anything in harmony with that supports that, like say a Supreme Court case law. It's simple. So you want to match your cause of action verbiage denotatively is fine. You want to match that with your argument that supports your legal and lawful claim. Now, when you get into the argument that supports your lawful legal claim, it must also reflect your verbiage that's used in your cause of action. So, I'll give you a quick example. If you use the term vehicle, that wouldn't be the proper verbiage to go on your cause of action. Vehicle is referenced as and known as, categorized as, by their statements, as a commercial transport. You operate in commerce. As soon as you say you operate a vehicle, you just admit to and sanction that you're doing business in Congress. You selling oranges out of your car? You know, you pushing tablets and books, CDs, like what Master P was doing. Most people know him as the rapper who started No Limit Records. Now, when he was doing his CDs out the back of his trunk, that was Congress. See what I'm saying? So, if you're traveling and you're not doing Congress, why would you reference what you're in as a vehicle? Then you get into their narrative. And once you're in their narrative, they control it. So you would say, because under the Constitution, from studying it, you would know that your liberties are secured by the Constitution, and you would know that those provisions, when you speak of that, you will see household goods. Now, let's say household goods. What does that entail? Well, go look up household goods. Remember, research critical thinking and discernment. One of my other classes. Go look up household goods. You'll see automobile comes under household goods. Now, when I use the term automobile, boom, that person I cause of action. No, I'm in an automobile. He ran me off the road, ran my automobile off the road on some false mercy. But I use the term automobile. Now, when I do my legal argument, I get the case law, which is Supreme case law, Supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution, and you point out household goods. Then you go show the term definition of household goods where automobile lies up under. Boom, you just smashed your cause of action, automobile with a legal argument to support your claim. It makes you sound more competent because you are, because you get it. You use the denotative linguistics for your denotative argument. You're not mentioning that on a local platform. You say, wait a minute, that's not a vehicle. That's an automobile. As soon as you say, I'm traveling in my automobile, that's a secured liberty by way of the Constitution. Now you can invoke the Constitution because you just figured out and you know now that, wait a minute, I'm in an automobile, not a vehicle. I'm not conducting commerce. An automobile falls under household goods by provision of the Constitution. So therefore, I'm invoking the Constitution. I'm enforcing the Constitution. Just by saying I'm an automobile versus vehicle. See how simple? Simple verbiage. Here's another one. Resident. Most people think that's where I live. No, you live in your body. Resident or residency is a transient status. What does that mean, Aaron? That means you visiting, or you're a person that moves from place to place, like a nomad. You're not permanent, you know. And because the residency cannot be counted as being permanent, as a permanent domicile. But if you say that, it also means indenture. So if you say that, you're already stating what's your residence. You answer, you're admitting to you being under servitude. Because you're indentured. And you move from place to place. You're not permanent. But wait a minute. You said you was an heir to the land. You said you was by blood birthright tied to the land. So how are you a resident and an heir at the same time? So we really have to get into knowing what these terms say. And I always advocate this strongly. You know, Brother Abdullah, I'm so glad that you're here teaching. When you come up and teach, because we need it so much, Brother Abdullah. We need it so much. And those that haven't had the pleasure to even study or get this brother's works, please do, because it's going to be really tough on us if we don't get our denotative and connotative discernment right. And we got to be able to know when we're speaking connotative linguistics and denotative linguistics. And even though I'm still learning, I still some time. You know, when I go to conversation with Brother Abdullah, my thinking cap has to be on, because he's that sharp. My thinking cap has to be on. So, you know, and I love him for that, because he keeps me on my toes. And he will keep you on your toes. It will make sure you know how to read. So we all working together. I'm not up here no different than my brother. I'm working with my brother to assist my brother to say, yo, y'all need to listen to him. And you don't wonder how Aaron is doing what he's doing, because I listen to Brother Dula. You know, and he taught me how to read. And I got great honor for him. And he can, you know, he really brings it. So we know if we start speaking correctly, using the right verbiage, it's going to go into our call to action. Too high, too low? 5 and 0? Oh, I thought it was me. So what I want to do is, I'm not going to get into it right yet, but by the end of the night, you're going to know how to do a constitutional challenge to the state statute with an affidavit, not a motion to intervene, but an affidavit. What that does, in fact, let me get it ready for you. What that does is it's going to put that so-called attorney general, whether it be of the state, corporate state, preferably you're going to deal with at the so-called executive level, meaning that you're going to go, who's sitting in that now, is acting as, I think it's William Barr. You challenge that. You know, this goes like, say, for example, any statute, and I'm not saying statutes are wrong, but when they abrogate the rights of the natural people, it's a violation. So any statute that violates your natural rights as a living, breathing, sentient being should be challenged. Should be challenged. Constitutional. What did the prophet say? Supreme issue, right? 1. Enforcement of the Constitution. So you challenge with a constitutional challenge to that state statute. Now, it's a series of different protocol you go through it to get it done. But what that is telling is, you're calling that attorney acting, one person being acting as attorney general, to come down here and validate this statute. Now, you want to CC the provost marshal. Why you want to CC the provost marshal? Because if he don't come down here and validate, if he comes down here and validate that statute, and it's unconstitutional, you know your job is to shoot him on the spot. So you're not going to show up. I've done this. They're not going to show up because this fraud we're living under, they know it, but they don't think you know. And this stuff is, it's there. It's always been there. So you don't want to use the term resident. You don't want to use the term vehicle. You don't want to use even terms like such as pulled over. You don't want to use terms as mortgage, payment. We made so much mistake with that. Paid, payment. Something's paid, or I made a payment, or I can pay or cannot pay. Now, when we use those terms, knowing that anybody that has, any scholar knows by HJR 192, 1933, that lawful gold and silver coin, which is lawful money, by provisions of the Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, that has been removed from circulation. So we're not making any payments, we're not getting paid, and we cannot pay. If we use that verbiage physically or in written form, we sanction. We sanction that we have lawful money. So when they tax that, and they tariff that, they come for that, who gave you that permission? You did. We did. By simple verbiage. So we have to get out of saying terms like pay. So what you can do for practice, because this is just a practice class today. I'm not going to be all along with it. We're going to do some exercise. This is a practice. Because I want to see, like Brother Dula say, I want to see who y'all are. So because, matter of fact, all over the internet, on YouTube, I kind of see, because we keep getting in situations. And we put the cart before the horse. Not dissing no one. But let me give you a brief example. Before I step out to enforce law or speak law or teach law or on any level, I gave you enough to save a nation, God save yourself, the prophet Noble Ali said. I gave you enough to save a nation, God save yourself. So what did I do? I saved myself first. How did I do that? I buried myself in the house for 3 years without no television, radio, nothing, and I studied. Why? This was before they hit me with any so-called, what's that they call it, when they send out those statements, those presentments when they try to foreclose on you. So that's foreclose. You know, like even that term itself. A closing means to close all else out, close all else out, forbid any other from internet. So how do you want to be how do you want to foreclosure? That's a fraud right there. That's fraud. You should catch that. Every time that term comes up, foreclosure, catch that. Every time that term comes up, mortgage. Well, you talking about dead players. You know? And if somebody's claiming to teach you something of right law and they use terms like that, walk away from it. The first corrective status is when you teach me anything. Don't call it a mortgage and you know it's a dead player. Don't call that an officer, a police officer, and use an armed mercenary. You know? So we really got to get that together. Our wording versus when we write. And writs come and they go out and they deal with us on a case-by-case basis because they know we can't comprehend the difference. You know, I've seen Moors or heard Moors and seen Moors write things in their writs where they want me to look over their writ if they send me an email. And the reason why I had to take a pause because I can't keep doing that. I love y'all, but I can't keep doing that. It takes too much of my time to sit there and I don't have a computer, so see this phone? This is what I gotta do. I gotta get your writ, open my email, look at your writ, download it to my phone first. You know, and I work off of prepaid data, so it's eating up data, so I gotta look at the writ and read the writ, and then now I gotta get into a conversation with you to correct your writ because I'm seeing all kind of connotative presentments in it. And you wonder why we're losing. We're losing because we're not taking the time to study. We're losing because we're not taking the time to stop mixing up connotative linguistics and trying to make a denotative argument. Meaning we're putting a loaded argument on a feudal platform. We're speaking few linguistics, but yet we're making a loaded argument. I'm speaking as an heir, unconditional, but yet I'm still making arguments as if I'm under the caste system of being black. Yeah, we have to stop that because where I might win, you might lose. And you wonder, well, how you win and you lose? Well, what is your language state? Are you matching up your lawful and legal argument to support your cause of action? You know? And a cause of action is simply what happened to you. What caused you to go into action? To come here with this writ. So don't get caught up in what type of writ you should write. And what heading the writ, should it be a writ of mandamus? Should it be a writ of error? Should it be a writ of it? You know, that will come to you from study. Meaning that if they send me a bill of presentment, saying that, you use a jury sum. That's a bill of presentment. That's a bill of attainment. You know, I'm not going to give that merit is to say that and I'm in my proper person. So, no. This is not lawful. I'm going to send it back. I say they come out and they try to kidnap me on that under the guise of arrest. They come out and try to kidnap me. Well, what should I do? The writ I would do would be a writ of error for that. A writ of error for that. Right? Now, let's say that didn't happen, and I want to make sure that they don't come my way.
Now, could you explain writ of error for just the layman's of the
right? A writ of
say for the novice.
Right. A writ of error, in short, real synopsis in short, is when you've been violated and there's an error on their part that you can identify. You have to identify it. You just can't say, oh, you're in error. You have to show how they're in error before you initiate a writ. It's just simply a title expressing or demonstrating your resolve that you are aware, you're cognizant to their error.
And what will be your evidence?
Your evidence will be supported by your affidavits and your exhibits of that error. Meaning that if an armed mercenary runs you outside the road and gives you a ticket, that's an error. Because the ticket is really a suit, and he's not really an armed mercenary, not really an police officer. He's in violation. So error, you're in violation of Title 18, Section 912, posturing as a government official. That's an error. You're trying to impose that you have a delegation authority over my being, my personal jurisdiction, the territorial jurisdiction, and subject matter. Error. You made an error. So I want to point this out to you so it can be corrected. Because you made an error. Meaning that don't put so much emphasis on the actual, it's just the title. And referencing that you're cognizant to and you can identify the error that was made. Thus, you would put an error.
Okay, you mentioned jury duty. What would be the error in?
If you got summons for you got a so-called summons for jury duty, the fact that it's a summons is wrong language.
Okay.
It's defective writ. So that whole private commercial paper they send you is a defective writ. Error, that's a defective writ.
Okay, could you explain the summons? I want to be.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I got you.
I just want to appear as the novice.
Right. So,
and as the novice, you're saying the summons would be the error.
The verbiage that they use.
Okay, could you explain
Defective language.
Could you explain that?
Right. I don't have the case law in front of me, but there's a case law for defective language. Okay. Just like I gave in one of my other classes, the case laws for defective writs. Now, I don't have them in front of me today. I think I might have the defective writs. Might have that. But a defective writ is defective because of its language, its verbiage. And so they cannot use defective language and hold you to it if you're aware of it. The only way you get away with all this is if you're not aware. It's defective language makes it that error.
And would it also be an error to assume that you are in your jurisdiction? Would it also be an error in them assuming that you are in your jurisdiction?
Exactly. But if anybody not spoken is waiting. Acquiescence. So basically, in short, you're just not being acquiescent. You're saying, hold on, there's an error being made. That's another way for saying mistake, but we don't use mistake. We don't use that term because that term is not being used when we enforce it or when they say it. But we know it's a mistake. But we say it's an error. Because it's used in the so-called court system. And in the lawful court. It's already documented. So we say it's an error. You know? If I call you the wrong appellation, you say, that's not my appellation, I'm such and such. Or that's an error. You correct me, right? So that's all you're doing is correct. So they send you a summons, and you say, you know how to say it comes in jury summons. It actually says that. Jury summons. Now, you can only be a jury of your peers, right? Does it tell you jury of what peers? Does it qualify jury? No. It just says summons after it. Right? And summons is a bill of attainder. You know? You being summoned is like you being sued. It's like you being sued. Now, because we don't know how to read, and we don't speak proper denotative linguistics, we don't know, that a summons is that deep. We don't know it's defective language. Written on private commercial paper. So when they send it out to you, that's an error. Then, you don't send your judicial notice proclamation out. You don't send your name correction out to prove that error. No, you simply send a writ error. You made an error. And then you go into the points of law on how they made that error. Meaning that you know what a summons is. You break that terminology out. There's no qualification to the jury of your peers or whose peers. We don't even know who jury or who. Qualified. This is on private commercial paper. And of course, it's in all caps when he sends it to you. So you got many things to choose from that to point out to make sure to show that it's being it's defective written and defective language. So with the defective written, defective language, and they make an error. Thus, my common sense would say, well, I'm gonna use the information that I got from the defective written in harmony with the Constitution. I'm gonna use what everything that states that proves that the term summons, the term jury, and all that. I'm gonna qualify all that, and then I want to simply put it in there as I'm laying it out, and as a title, I'll just write rid of error. And then I send it to them. Oh, this is an error. This is an error. It's an error because of this. This, and this. Simple as that. Now, say if they don't send one out, but you got one, you got something that you got one and you address it. Now, say you address it, but you're not sure if you were speaking full denotative linguistics, and you quote something in your own written. Well, and I've used this because I sent out when he was doing with the non-domestic, and I didn't want them to be confused because domestic means home, non-domestic means non-resident means that I'm not under your jurisdiction. So just to clarify to make them know that they weren't attacking me. I just felt that I said something and I said, well, let me qualify my own self. Just in case they make a mistake because they love to assume. So I did a writ of prevention. I studied a writ of prevention. A writ of prevention is to say that I'm preventing you from any future assumptions. Because I stated this. So let me qualify and clarify this statement so that you don't make any future assumptions. So I prevent you from that through a writ of prevention. And there are many risks. So for us to start winning, we need to get off all these titles. Don't worry about the writ. Worry about, not even worry, but be concerned about if you're using the right terms in the right way. You want to make sure those terms are right. You don't want to sanction them at all. So we make these mistakes, and the most ones we keep making is that term payment, pay, and paid. We make that a lot. We tend to not, when something comes in, not realize that we're not paying anything because we don't have any money in circulation to use. And then they keep hitting us with as if we do when we don't. So we can't do that. We can't use those terms. All of us that want to travel probably got one of those plates on the back of their automobile. And we didn't even realize that plate identifies the gift to who's ever CEO of that corporate state. Now, when you look at the corporate state as a so-called government, and they're not, you're really looking at the so-called governor, so-called attorney general, and the so-called secretary of that corporate state. That's it. Everybody else is an employee. So you don't make it hard to deal with anybody else. You know who you're dealing with. So, and you're going to always go to the top, so you're going to be dealing with the CEO, which would be acting as that substitute that governor. So, just give me a second. I want to get into a little bit of that constitutionality and state statute. Let's see what I got here. Because I did this when they were coming after my house. And I know Moors are out there facing all those kind of situations and don't know exactly what to do when they're, all right, here we go. And don't know exactly what to do when they're coming after that. Don't wait for them to come after you. Don't wait. You got a house, you better be getting on that now. Because they coming. If they ain't there yet, they coming. Because why? You think you paid, payment or paid. Like one of the brothers that was here earlier said, I own my house. I paid for it. It's paid off. I said, wait a minute. Did you give them gold and silver? Because I don't know nobody's doing that. You gave him gold and silver, so if you didn't give him gold and silver, you didn't pay nothing. But you just sanctioned it. Because you said you paid. You said you owned. But yet you're receiving a tariff in the form of a tax. It's clear evidence that you did it. Because why would you be getting a tax, a tariff? Because free people aren't taxed. Why would you be getting taxed if you're not in servitude and your property is not? You know, and so most of us don't even know how powerful HJR 192 is. They removed the lawful money. You know, I have lawful money, but I didn't use that to acquire my home. I was subjugated. I was tricked into some double-stream twin bookkeeping. You know, where I gave the loan, but it was switched around to make it look like they gave the loan. Yeah, double bookkeeping. You know, when you put your signature on that note, promissory note, you authorize the funds. They take the funds and go inside and create another account, double bookkeeping, and then they give it back to you as if they loaned it to you. You don't know anything about it, you don't complain about it, so you follow the process. And then you take your right hand, or if you left-handed, you take your left hand and you put your signature down. And as soon as you put your signature down, you admit, now you're party to the fraud. Now you can't hold them at it. And they know you don't know how to read and don't know anything about. So they can run this. And then they come after you later and foreclose on you. So-called foreclosure. But wait a minute, did I call closing? I went to a closing, but how are they foreclosed on? So don't wait if you have a house. Don't wait for them to come to you. You go to them. You know, you challenge that statute, because find the statute that rules over foreclosures. And wherever you domicile. Then you use the federal civil rule procedures. You can use that. As I will get into it, but just give me a second, let me make sure I have it.
Islam, there's a question online.
Yes.
What verbiage do we use in place of pay?
In place of payment?
Pay. What verbiage
now,
do we use in place of pay?
Well, I would have to ask the question back. I can answer the question with a question, ask the question with a question. But I need to know, why would you want to use the term pay? I mean, you don't want to use the term pay because obviously dealing with a job, so-called job, or, you know. So they basically want to know what you would use.
What verbiage
right.
do we use in place of pay?
We shouldn't use none. You're not getting paid. Are you getting paid?
What verbiage do we use in place of pay? All right, first of all,
are we being paid?
What verbiage do we use in place of pay?
I'm trying to explain. What verbiage do we use in place of pay? None. Look how easy that is. None. Why? We're not getting paid.
So
why would I use something in place of something that I'm not getting?
So if I'm having a general conversation and I say, I'm aware that I don't have gold and silver, and if there is something that is due to someone that I owe financing to.
So she asked one quick pause.
No, don't stop my thought.
Forgive me, Mother.
So instead of the old mind would say, how much do I owe you, or how much do I pay you? That would be the old mind. But as we know better, we do better. So instead of that word pay, would I say, how much should I give to you?
Well, you can say, how much can I compensate you for?
Thank you.
Compensatory, like when we sue, compensatory, right. So we would use that. Or you could say,
what's my compensatory name?
Right. Or you could say, what pecuniary obligation? Pecuniary.
Okay.
Or compensatory.
Okay.
But the way that she put it kind of threw me off because I was like, I wouldn't use anything because pay means I'm getting something.
No.
Right.
It's a question of, like I said, you know,
The novice.
sometimes we have to remember there may be novice.
Novice, right.
And if no question is a wrong question.
No question, it's the wrong person, that's right.
So, you know, I think that was a great
That's
question.
what it was.
Thank you, Brother William Austin.
Thank you, brother. It just threw me a little bit, so, cause, you know, I don't, you're right, mother, you're right. Some of us are novice. And sometimes I might come off where I was just thinking everyone should know this. We got no money. Why would you say use the term pay or so you're right. Compensatory obligation, or how would I satisfy you by this? What pecuniary wage would you be satisfied with? You know, and we doing this trade. You know, and that way we come away from that term pay. You know, even when we're receiving those securities that we call checks, we're getting pecuniary wages, not payment.
But it states on there in compensation.
Yes. So you get compensation or pecuniary wages. We're not getting payment. But when we're battling them and we're defending ourselves, we might use that not knowingly. If we're not studied up enough, we'll use that. And they sit on the other end knowing that they ain't got no money. But they think they got money because they just said pay or paid or payment. Now we can tax that. Because we control that narrative. We control that verbiage. We determine what that means. So we can turn around and use that narrative against you. And that's how they do. You know, so and once we admit to it, you know, we fail.
Right, because the only thing that could be taxed is income.
Exactly. And income is?
We do not receive income.
Right. Well, what is income?
It's profit.
Profit from what?
Business.
Right? Now, if I have so-called Wall Street stock options, these investments on the stock market, and it turns a profit, now that is income.
And that's a commercial profit.
Right, it's commercial profit, and it's income. But here's the flip. When you're giving your bonuses, because you're not paying, so when, say, a utility or what have you, when you're giving that bonus in a form of alleged payment, they're receiving income. So you can hold that purpose to them.
Which in turn, we should report that.
Exactly. 3949 bond fraud.
We should report that via W-9 to the IRS.
Yep. Islam, W-9 and a 3949 bond fraud. Because they commit that. They're receiving that and they tax absconding. And they are subjected to the IRS. You know, they subject to that. So you're right. And it all comes on the verbiage we use. And these are little ones, because I see we pretty much got it even at the novice level, but we make those small little mistakes. Those small little errors. Like in those terms, like pay instead of compensatory, officer instead of mercenary, you know, pool instead of ran off the road, vehicle instead of automobile. You know, thinking that you own your house when you're a steward in true possession of your property, which is provided by the Constitution, because and everything in it. You know, remember I did a class back and I taught you about the excise tax law and the ad valorem tax, and I told you the excise tax is how they tax us for the actual property, and the ad valorem tax is how they tax us for the contents of that property. So if I was in my automobile, I'm taxed for my automobile, and then I'm taxed for the people traveling in my automobile with me. The ad valorem tax would be how you gave us a ride. You will be hit with an ad valorem tax for giving us under that. And then the excise tax will cover the car and everything else. See? And that's their verbiage. And they're using their verbiage because they trained us. We're not erudites. We're educated. But we need to stop being educated and become erudite. Erudition. Erudition is dealing with scholarship and higher learning. Education is just dealing with training. You can look this up. You can Google it. You can see it's training. Like, even though they use the term college and all that, they got that verbiage in it that says training. So when you look at erudition, there's no verbiage in it that says training. It just says learning. So wait a minute. What's this learning and what's this training? So wait a minute. If we educated, we're trained, and if we're erudites, we're higher learned scholars. So we need to become erudites instead of versus education. That's training for animals. So when we making our legal argument, it's real simple. If you're making a legal argument to support your cause of action, it must match. You're going to be so much more effective when it matches. Take the time that when you're writing your cause of action, and you start it off and saying, like somebody is. You guys, you more are listening, somebody give an example of a situation you're going through. And I'll clean it up. Make it as colorful as you want. And I'll clean it up. And so you can get a kind of what I'm saying. So anybody on there want a situation? This is exercise, remember, call.
I can create one.
You can create one. I don't want to pull anybody out and get a personal, because you're not ready to disclose that. But I really want to just someone to say a situation that they have, and I hope it's real. Yeah, so I can clean it up. But when I say the situation, I want you to say it as if you were writing your cause of action. Okay. What would you say?
I can't say it like that yet. No. How about, let me just say the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm probably...
Well, that would be the cause of action. Your issue would be the cause of action.
Okay, but let me say it, and even though a little connotation may slip out, just we'll fix it later. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't worry about being wrong.
Okay, let's go like this. Okay, I received a statement in the mail from Sally Mae. Mm-hmm. And the amount owed said $205,000.
And the amount said, so you received a statement.
Yes.
Now, when you say statement,
it says statement at the top.
Right, it says statement, but when it comes to you in the mail, is it on private commercial paper? Now. When we dealing with, that would really be a good one, because that sounds like a personal issue where you're dealing with Sally, you're being specific. So say, I'll give you one. The state of Delaware.
Sally Mae is the
So I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's a company?
Yes.
So Sally Mae is a company.
Yes. That's not personal.
I didn't know that. I thought when you said Sally Mae, I thought that was a person, an actual natural person.
She's not my mother.
So Sally Mae is a company like Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
So Sally Mae, so I'm looking like that. So Sally Mae, the corporation, sent you something. So you saying Sally Mae sent you a statement saying that you owe such and such dollars.
Yeah, $205.
$205. Now,
$205,000.
Now, they sent you the statement. Now, this is the tricky part. Now that you got that in the mail, well, we know what it is, but to the novice, it's just a statement. How would a novice write their cause of action to deal with that, to combat that?
Well, most novices will just fall up on the table, but go ahead.
Right. So most novices will do that, and then some that got a little bit will say, I'm gonna act like I don't have any knowledge at all. And I got a statement from Sally Mae saying, what was it, $205,000. So wait a minute. Oh man, I can't pay that. I don't even have that much money. Where do I get that from? How do I owe this? I think can we make an arrangement? Payment arrangement?
Well, they had attached to that a form to apply for a income-based payment plan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see? income based. And see, and you think, and I think, if I'm not with knowledge, I got income. But my whole thing is I'm getting the subject matter because I don't have any knowledge. So the first thing a novice would do is get the subject matter and say, wait a minute, I only made this, so or they start getting into excuses. I just got fired, or I was laid off. All the wrong arguments.
Well, we never found it.
I never, yeah. Oh, well, how do I owe this much? Can you give me an itemized statement to break that down? Are you saying that now? Is Sally Mae is a mortgage company?
No.
A real estate company? A
Student
student? Ooh.
That's the student loan.
Ooh, a student loan company.
The biggest.
Look, brothers and sisters, look at that right there. Student loan. Keyword, loan. Loan. See, that's just like, it's all across the board. It might as well be a dead pledge. I pretend to be a mortgage. Because they don't go keep it again. Because they're giving you something. You think you got something. Pay me. And so if you don't have knowledge, you think you got to actually loan something. Well, I can't pay that back at this time. Can I work out arrangements? That's too much for me. I lost my job. Now we're in the subject matter. Now we're using their verbiage and their narrative. So guess what? They're going to keep coming. And keep coming. They're going to keep coming until they get what they feel they want. Because we give life to that fiat note. We give that. We give life to it because we think it's valid. We don't know that most of us don't even know. And this is a real shame. There's a lot of us that don't even know Article 1, Section 10. I talk to some brothers and sisters that are novice, and a lot of us don't even read the Constitution. But I say, well, how did we get to be adults and not have any comprehension of the Constitution or even know its functions?
Because we go to Rockefeller School.
Exactly, Islam. And they tell us, don't worry your pretty head about the Constitution, just people take care of that. Just concentrate on what we teach in your head. And in any public school, did you get civic instructions on the Constitution? Did you get any book reports to go home and do a book report based on knowledge of the Constitution? Heck no. They're not going to do that because you might figure something out. And you being the heir that they know is heir apparent, you might figure something out and stop them. Oh, start moving. We can't have that. We got to keep it going.
Read Article 1, Section 10.
Article 1, Section 10.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver, coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. No state shall, without the consent of the Congress, lay any imposts or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts. That sounds like goods and services. Laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty mean tax, of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, where our ships parked here, enter into any agreement or compact with another state, or with a foreign power, or engage in war, unless actually invaded, or in such imminent danger as will not omit or delay.
That's right. Islam, thank you. So, when we dealing with that term, payment, we should be cognizant of what she just read. Because you wouldn't use it. You would clearly know and have cognizant knowledge that I have never been paid. Therefore, I cannot pay anything. So therefore, my argument is going to be different. And if it's going to be different, then what is it going to be about? My estate. It's an estate argument, not a so-called pay argument. You want to take that narrative back. You know, you have, what you just read, you know, you've read the Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, you know, wait a minute. This FRN note is not gold and silver. It has no weight. Therefore, there's no way by weights and measures. There's no weight to that. It's not coined. It's not delegated or sanctioned by the Constitution 1791, so you can't count as that as payment. But once you put that out there, terms like that income, terms like that payment, what you're doing is in fact playing their game, their narrative, and they'll play that with us all that. And so when we're dealing with, most people we're dealing with our right to travel. That's a big thing. I think that even though we deal with the dead pledge, i.e. so-called mortgage, and that's another big thing, but it's all stemming from the identification of us. We're not properly identifying ourselves, meaning that we're not standing up on our status. We're not proclaiming it. We're not properly identifying by verbiage, because it's demonstrated by what we speak. When you're dealing with them by written form or verbiage form, you're competent or viewed incompetent by your demonstration. It doesn't mean I could be up here my proper person, but if I demonstrate that through what I'm speaking with the verbiage, it's still connotative linguistics, then they want to rule me as incompetent. Put me back in that black status, not recognize me, because you recognize yourself by speaking correctly, right law, jurisprudence, thus demanding them to do the same. But you can't demand them or something if you're not going to take that initiative yourself to make sure you're speaking the right words, right law, jurisprudence, the science of the principle that teaches as the principle of the science. I got it wrong. The science is the principle of positive law. The treatise, positive law. So it's right words. Juris, Latin. It's the same way we're going into the diction, jurisdiction, jurisprudence, and jurisdiction they go hand in hand. So you're dealing with right words. If we're not dealing with right words, we're not going to get remedy. And Moors are failing because we're not dealing with the right words. You got a lot of Moors out there giving a lot of information, even with myself. There's a lot of information that's out there. But what I'm noticing is, with all the information that's out there in this age, this cycle, it is imperative so much that we get the terms correct. Why make an argument using wrong terms, and then when they come after you, you sit there with what the hell? Now I know I did all this right, and this and that, and why are you still bothering me? This, that. Well, we're under occupation, number one. They're desperate. That's their mission. Just as our mission is to enforce the Constitution, their mission is to tear it apart, negate it. We're still under martial rule from 1861. Abraham Lincoln didn't institute the Constitution back because he didn't have a check. They assassinated him. So we're still under martial rule because they overthrew, And so they're controlling the narrative. We're actually prisoners of war on our own land, being subjugated, and they're using verbiage in a connotative linguistical format to control the narrative. And if we don't come out of that to the denotative, and it's not hard. It's really not hard. It's just a simple study and knowing where to go. You'd be surprised how much you can find on the internet. I mean, they know we can't read, so why would we hide this stuff on the internet? I got this. The same way you do in the so-called Masonic lodges from Rema Memphis in the shallow grave. And that's why George Washington had to close the lodge. Whoa, he's not dead. Because they want to control the narrative. You're not supposed to speak up. They want to control the narrative. But you can't speak up because you can't read, and if you can't read, you can't put the right verbiage physically or on paper. Thus, you cannot make the lawful legal argument that supports your cause of action. And so, those that are ready to do that, by all means, take notes and start looking at your cause of action when you draw it up and run over it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 times even. And make sure you checking every word you got on there to make sure it's not denotative. You're not using vehicle. Excuse me. Thank you for correcting me. Not connotative. You want to make sure it's denotative, not connotative. That means you're going through every word. Did I use the term pay? Did I use tax without qualification? Did I use pulled over? Did I use mortgage? Did I use income? Did I use foreclosed? Did I use officer? Did I use judge? Did I use court?
Don't use your honor either.
Or your honor? Or did I use the lawyer said, there's no lawyers on this land but us, the layman, the lawman of this land. You cannot be that on someone else's land. They are attorneys which are hiding. Take that Y off. Put that R back. They are attorneys. Why do they hide that? Because if they call themselves on, and you see on the television, such and such attorney at law, call Brian Spirit, they actually an attorney. You start looking up attorney, and it's going to lead you right to the Crown Temple Church. But if you look up attorney, it ain't going to lead you nowhere. See how he did that? You look up attorney and see if you can find Crown Temple Church from looking up the term attorney and research attorney. No. They're not using the term. When you look up attorney, it's going to lead you from your studies to the Crown Temple Church on Facebook. Wait a minute. How you operating over here and your interest is for Great Britain or London? That's conflict of interest. You can shut down on that. So, but when you use verbiage like judge, that's a big one. Court, I hear a lot of us say that. Because I was in court yesterday, or I got to go to court yesterday. I'm like, oh, my goodness. What court? Court is anywhere you hold your legal retention. What court? The minute I put a stamp on that writ and send out that cause of action and CC it, I'm only court. So, you're going to a meeting room, you mean? Pretending to be that? We use the term court. You know? We won't say automobile, we'll say vehicle. We won't say travel, we'll say drive. You know? I was driving, you know, and things like that. And so our situations are the same. As I said to say this, our situations are the same. We either facing a so-called ticket, which is a summons, a suit. We either facing a so-called foreclosure, which is a suit, a tax, all of us tax. We either facing a so-called bond claim, where they're kidnapping us under the guise of being arrested. And let me state this right now. The minute they approach you and command your performance in law, you are under arrest right then and there. The minute they stop you and command your performance of law, at law, you are under arrest right then. Meaning that if they run you off the side of the road and say, driver's license, registration, and insurance. Why am I under arrest? You're not under arrest. You command on performance in law. You stopped me in my travels from what I was doing. You arrested me. I didn't say you kidnapped me yet, but you have me under arrest. Because you're claiming to be something you're not. You're claiming to be authority without delegation of authority, without proof of that. Under implied powers, you're claiming to be DOT in your right words as far as jurisdiction. So you claim a jurisdiction over the body, subject matter, and territory. That's wrong. That's all wrong purpose. And if it's not challenged, they carry out that narrative. What I would suggest, now just to touch base basically on any issue that we deal with, watch out. I'm going to throw some salt again with this one because it's effective. And Don't do it unless you're sure. Make sure you do your studies and your research. So I'm going to give it to you like this. Make sure I got intervene right. Is that spelled correctly? So I got intervene.
Right.
I-N-E.
No.
Oh. E-I-N is I-N-T-E-R-V I-N-E. V-I-N-I-N-E, Veen, right?
Intervene?
Yeah. Is it, or it's E? Oh, no, it's no I in it.
Yeah, it's no I.
No I.
E-N-E.
Yeah, E-N-E. That's right. I like it.
Let's take the I out.
Yeah, constitutional challenge to state statute with an affidavit. Now, it's going to be listed in the rule book as motion to intervene, but you know, Moors don't do motions. We do affidavits. So, you're going to use this to challenge any statute. Now, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to give you the rule, the civil rule, and write this down. 5.1, Title 28, 5.1, Rule 5.1. So make sure you put that rule in first. Rule 5.1, Title 28, Rules of Civil Procedure, page 112. You find this in any, get you a little copy of that federal Civil Rules and Procedures. Everyone should have that in their house, just like you got a black phone. Of the corporate state that you domicile near. It's operating near where you domicile. Like say, the Pennsylvania Corporation calling itself State of Pennsylvania. Or State of Jersey calling itself, Jersey Corporation calling itself State of Jersey. You find out where you are, you know, and the statutes that's governed, so-called governed, where you are. Like say, since we're here, you got Delaware? Can you run off the Delaware rule? You got a statute for Delaware, you mean? Well, we're not looking for any particular statute. We want to challenge any statute that abrogates your liberties. So meaning that if you're being so-called foreclosed on, you want to know what statute that is they use to do that. If you're getting issued a suit under the guise of a ticket, you want to know what statute they're using to do that. Statutes are not wrong. You have public statutes that are. But when they abrogate the rights of the natural people, be in your proper person before you do this, or you will be found in contempt. And it will be your own fault. If you're not in your proper, brothers and brothers, if you don't have ill obey attached to you, and the only reason I don't say Ali, because Ali is reserved for the master. The Prophet said don't name, don't give your children the appellation Ali, because that's reserved for the master. So I'm not going to reference Ali. Ill obey. Turtle Island. Moors of Northwest Mexico, North Gate. Ill obey. That's all they want to see. That's all we should become. Not a smooth day or hour. Well, we're talking about the North Gate. Ill or bad. If you're not in your proper person and you attempt to do this, you are in contempt. And they will throw you in that cell they call a jail. So don't do that. Make sure if you're going to do this, you have first taken the steps to secure your status. You're not no longer in that black status. You are of white, alloyal character. Pure, clean, sovereign. Remember, not sovereign citizen. There's no such thing as that. Because sovereignty doesn't stand that alone. Sovereignty stands by me being allegiance to my nation. My nation is sovereign. The nation is sovereign. If I'm in allegiance with my nation, my capacity of exercising sovereign capacity of rights, there's acknowledged because I'm in allegiance with my nation who is sovereign. Sovereignty comes from nations, meaning that China, let's say Hindustan, they're sovereign because they're a nation. China's sovereignty comes by its nation. Russia's sovereignty comes by way of its nation. Russia is the nation. If you step away as a Russian from your allegiance to Russia, you no longer have sovereign status. You are then stateless. So your status, your sovereignty, capacity to act, only comes by, or to demonstrate, for the better word, only comes by way of your allegiance to your nation. Thus, when you proclaim your nationality, you're proclaiming your allegiance back to your nation where your sovereignty lies. That's why when they hit you with that sovereign citizen, you should be challenging that. Because sovereignty doesn't stand alone. How can you be a sovereign citizen? What nation is called citizen on this earth? I don't know any nations called citizen. I'm going over to the citizen country. Oh, I just came back from citizen. Who was hot over there? They said, what? What the hell is that? And I'm sovereign. I can travel. You know, because I'm a sovereign citizen. By way of, I say so. And they looking at you like a fool. They do that with that misnomer because they know we don't read. They should know. We should know, they know we should know that sovereignty doesn't stand alone. It only comes by way of nation, your nativity, mother. Who are you aligned with? And that's like a Chinese coming over here and saying, I'm Chinese American, because they have done that. So for all you Chinese, calling yourself Chinese American, you're stepping away from your national principles, your nationality, your allegiance to your nation. If you say, I'm Italian American, you're doing the same. Oh, you're Italian. Your nationality is Italian, you're from Rome. You stepped away from that. Or we are democracy. We're Democrats. We're a democracy. Priest rule, anarchy in government. We're Democrats. When you say things like that, you step away from your nationhood, your nationality. You are stateless. You Democrat, you stateless. You stand for democracy, you stateless. You're in servitude. It's anarchy in government. This is all over, this is how they throw the confusion at. Because you got nations all across this damn planet talking about democracy. Nobody wants to talk about republic. Knowing damn well you're supposed to be represented by the Moors on planet Earth because that's your right to fight to exist. And you step away from that and you step into that democracy, peace rule, you say I got the Pope's back. I'm down with the Vatican. Oh really? right, then you supporting the victim, the substitute. You know, so I say make sure before you attempt to do this, you are in your proper person. You are not Negro, black, or colored. To be effective in law, you need to start with law because law starts with you. If you cannot start with you and you're the law, prophet said, know thyself, two selves. The law starts with you. If you don't start with yourself, you're not enforcing the law. If you don't know the law, you cannot stand for yourself. You know, law is specific. Specific means point for point. I'm not going to get a bill of attainder in the mail and send them back. Oh, I'm going to give my judicial notice of proclamation on my name correction. But they argue you point for point saying, Sally Mae said you owe her $225,000. You should challenge that. Wait a minute, what kind of statement is this? It's a bill, this is a bill of attainder. Let's qualify it. I don't have any lawful money. Wouldn't you loan me lawful money? In the form of proper commercial paper? You didn't loan me anything. Because see, a cognizant more would know that their signature authorized those funds. A cognizant more would realize that, wait a minute, you double bookkeeping trying to put that debt back on me. That's called a conversion. So, what counts as a conversion? What writ would be used to counter any act of conversion? A writ of reversion of a state. Because they're doing acts of conversion, so you revert it back. You see what I'm saying? So, we have to get it. That's how the writs come up. You'll start learning how to do the writs, or title your writs by getting into the law. First, don't be all hung up. Which kind of title it is? I used to do that. I couldn't get the chance to get the writ written because I'm too busy trying to see what kind of writ should it be. Now just go into, you know how they tell people that's writing and want to write a novel. Don't get into the outline. Just write the book. Come back and the outline will form for you. But just write the book. So you get into your cause of action, and that's going to tell you, once you start getting into your legal argument to support your cause of action, that's going to tell you what kind of writ you're going to title that as, depending upon the situation. Now you're speaking competently. So for those that have went ahead and proclaimed their nationality and you're in allegiance with your nation, thus can demonstrate your sovereign capacity, you can then challenge any statute by way of the provisions of the Constitution. That's what it's there for. And this is documented. Matter of fact, it's so documented, I challenge you right now. Pull out your phones or your computer and Google it. Pull it up. It'll come up for you. Constitutional challenge to state statute. Constitutional challenge to state statute. With, they'll say a motion to intervene, but like I said, we don't do motions. You're going to replace that with affidavit of fact.
Okay, which section A1?
You want to know them all because you want to see,
Okay.
right, you want to know them all. You want to study every aspect of it. And you also want to take the civil rules because they want to go in harmony with that. And you're going to be looking up the statute where you domicile. If you domicile near the Delaware Corporation, you want to know what statute the Delaware Corporation is using to, i.e., allegedly foreclose, give you a so-called summons, a so-called tax obligation. Because that's all of the statutes. All of it. All right, well, what statute are you using for that? And you search, you say, all right, well, I challenge that statute. Now, when you challenge this statute, who are you going to send it to? You want to make sure you send it to that one acting as Attorney General. make sure you send it to the one who's purporting that you have an obligation. I challenge that statute, that rule that you're using, that statute you're using to do what you're doing. And I'm going to send CCs to make sure I alert and notice the person, sentient being, acting as that corporate body structure attorney general. And then I'm going to CC the provost marshal. Because if you come down and validate that statute is constitutional and it's not, that's your ass. So they're not going to, they damn if they do, they damn if they don't. If they don't show, it validates what you just stated. So you win either way. You win either way. Because they're not going to come down and validate no fraudulent statute that abrogates the rights of the natural people. This is why you need a proper person, because then you're a natural people. And if you're a natural people, the statute cannot abrogate your liberties. And if it does, you can challenge it. You can challenge it. I did it. It works. He didn't come down. She didn't come down. Whoever was holding that officer, that so-called officer at the time, they didn't want to get shot. They don't want to get brought up on charges of treason. So you know what they do? We didn't see that. We didn't see that. So we want to, and if they don't see that, that means they're not rebutting. And any affidavit not rebutted stands as what law, y'all? Fact. Because affidavits must be rebutted. That's why we don't do motions. So I swing on them. I said, yeah, y'all might use the term motion, but I qualify everything because I'm the heir, unconditional, in my proper person, with liberty and sovereign capacity to act, because I'm a loser of my nature. So I'm going to qualify that. You use motion? Motion denied. Nah. I'm going to see what affidavit is fact. You got to rebut this. Come on. Come on. Come on, you acting as, doing business as Attorney General. Now, I did it, and I did it with the so-called, the person acting as Attorney General at the so-called state level. It was still effective, but I realized after the fact, man, I was supposed to do it at the executive level. So who's sitting in that seat now? Acting and doing business as that now? William Barr. William Barr is sitting in that seat right now. He would get noticed. He would be noticed, along with whoever else is purporting to say I have an obligation. He would be noticed. Yo, this statute, under the rule, now this is where you go, you get into the rules, then you just look up that statute. Under the rule, I can challenge the statute. Under Rule 5.1, House 28, I can challenge that statute. So I challenge you. The statute under whatever foreclosed comes under, whatever suits or tickets comes over, traffic, so-called traffic violation, you file that statute. And then you challenge that statute. You put that statute in your writ. And you challenge it. Now, I'm going to give you the verbiage, but I want to set it up. You challenge the statute in your writ. And when you do that, you're going to implicate, or you're going to not implicate, you're going to make demand that William Barr come down and validate the statute. Sally Mae say $225,000. Well, Sally Mae is doing this under this statute. She thinks she has authority to sanction me or come after me when I don't have income, payment, or any money. HR 192. So therefore, I have to challenge the statute because she's putting an obligation of tariff on me, implying that I have money. So this statute, I'm going to challenge it by way of Rule 5.1 of the Rules of Procedure to challenge the Constitution. So now I want you to come down and validate that. They can't. I just told you they can't because if a statute is not wrong, it's an abrogates to what? The rights of the natural people. So if I'm in my proper person and you abrogate my liberties with an alleged foreclosure, and I challenge that to say, all right, Under this rule, you're using this statute to enforce this so-called foreclosure rule and all this other. I challenge that. Because I'm a proper person, so I challenge that. And so I'm going to CC it back to who's giving me that. Sally Mae. Well, that's a student loan. Same thing. What statute does Sally Mae company, then you fire that CEO, by what way or what right, as you go on to having jurisdiction, you send that to and you put that in your writ. When you challenge that statute, what statute, but you don't ask them. You do the research, critical thinking and discernment. You find that statute. You get that statute and you say, all right, you're trying to enforce this by way of this statute. This statute abrogates the rights of the natural people unless you can prove otherwise. And you can't. So let me give you the verbiage on it. Let me go into it. Because I use this and it's very effective. And imagine, that's why I said I'm going to salt the game. Imagine if everybody takes on to this and everybody, and they look up, and William Barr got a whole bunch of challenges on his desk. They know he can't come to there one of them. Because the provost marshal.
Okay.
Gonna be waiting. Say again.
May I play the angel's advocate?
Yes.
Okay, and all was said, one would say, okay, but XYZ still lost their home, their place of domicile. Jeannie, Jeffrey, whatever, was still, their home is now. So, even though the challenging takes place of the dead pledge, the challenges take place of the driver's license instrument, of the student loan and things like that, the challenge still presents itself, and there's still, I would say, there would be some that are able to, there's individual wins, and but it's like different roadmaps, and it's not a collective.
Right.
It's not a collective.
That's why I wanted to be a collective.
It's not a collective success of people saying, okay, yes, I stood on this Constitution, I stood on this, I challenged this, I challenged that, and I have my place of domicile. But that's not happening.
Right,
so
because
so there's a pitfall occurring here. There's some pitfalls occurring where you challenged and you were able to successfully maintain your place of domicile, whereas this person, that person, this person, just say 10 right after you, took the same process, but all 10 of them thereafter you lost their place of domicile.
Well, I would have to see somebody that's did a constitutional challenge to state statute with affidavit and they still lost their place. I'd like to see that. You saying somebody out there that's did a constitutional challenge that lost it?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I said these arguments of challenging the dead pledge and things of that nature are happening, where you may have success with one, but then you have 10 that are injured.
Like a case-by-case basis.
Exactly.
Right. Well, Moores kind of messed that up because we started being incompetent and doing too many things too fast, and they started getting caught and they couldn't stand, and so now they looking at us all. Can you stand? Can you stand? Can you stand? Can you stand? So they were, and hey, you know, that's I don't fault that, and I'm letting y'all know that now. I don't fault that. Y'all might think I'm crazy for saying this, but we need that. Because it makes us get our together. Makes us get our rich together. You know, because we be playing around too long. Probably more active Moors, not passive Moors. Why are you waiting? You have a house. You have a car. I gotta calm down. You have a house. You have a car. You have property. What the hell are we waiting for? Why are we waiting? Do you want to wait till they come on you until you are after the fact? Now, for those that have lost, you didn't have this knowledge. I was able to get this knowledge because I was just searching for it. This is why he doesn't want passive more. You're supposed to be, you got a TV in your house? Get rid of it. You don't got time for that. You got no time for that. You'll be out on the street. So you don't need no time for watching TV. You don't need no time to hang in the club. You don't need no time to watch the football game. Go to a game. You got time for that. We're at war, people. War. This is not a game. If you're going to come in with a game, you get what you get. I don't feel sorry for you. I love you. I don't feel sorry for you because my life is on the line with yours. When you win, I win. When you fail, I fail. And I refuse to fail. We don't need to wait anymore. So a lot of things happen. We don't need to wait anymore. We need to come after them. Instead of waiting for them. That's what's called acquiescence. We're in acquiescence. That's why we in this. That's why they got a 14th Amendment platform set up for acquiescence. Because we're walking around as dummies. And I'm not being insulting. Look it up. Look it up in the law books. You sit in place of somebody else, that's law. That's a lawful term for that is dummy. You sitting in place as a citizen without qualification, or a resident of the United States, that means you move from place to place. You're a nomad. You know, we got to stop using these terms and stop being so afraid. You know, so if you're not in your proper person, get in your proper person. How can you invoke the first Bill of Rights, which is your right to religious worship or religious freedom, if you're not in your proper person? How can you make a stand, a statement, or say anything? You have no stand out, no judicial stand out. Once you have judicial stand out, what are you going to do with it? Excuse me, I'm sorry for hollering. I apologize. I can project. If you don't have yourself in your proper person, you don't have judicial stand out. If you don't have judicial stand out, you're going to be injured by other citizens. They're going to tax you. They're going to beat you. They're going to put you in a cage. They're going to take your property. It's cheap. Usurpation. What are we waiting for? Maybe because we didn't know? All right, now give us that. We didn't know. We didn't know we could challenge the statute. We didn't know. My mistake. We didn't. Is this cool right here? We didn't know we could challenge the statute. My apologies for getting hyped. I just really want us to get this. We didn't know we could challenge the statute. Why? Because we can't read, and we didn't go into the books to get the rules and procedures and protocols. We're not in our proper person. You know, we speaking connotative linguistics on a denotative argument platform, meaning that we're bringing a colonial perspective argument, but we money up the words, and then we deal with it on a feudal platform, and then we expect a remedy. No, we should be focused on small things. Article 3, Section 2, diversity of citizenship. Why is it diversity? How many people can you walk out your door and see on this continent other than a Moor? You see Chinese, Border Cane, call themselves Latinos. You see Italians. I was just in Lowe's 2 years ago and got a card for not having to be obligated for taxes, and the only reason they gave it to me because they wanted me to shut up. Because I was teaching my sisters. Because a European had said, when you fill out the forms, I'm an American too. I said, no, you're not. You said I'm a birthright, right from my face. You know, I can sue you for that. He said, well, I'm not married. Well, what am I? I said, well, what's your mama? What was your mama born? I mean, not when your mama was born. What was your mama? What's your mama's nativity? What's your mama? Who's your mama? What's your nationality? Well, she's Italian. Well, then that's your nationality. You are as the mother are. You're an Italian. You're not American. You're not an Italian American. That's what you're an Italian at America. Say it right. She said, well, who's the American? I said, those two sisters right there in front of you working. And when I said that, these suits came down from upstairs. They came up on that woman so fast and snatched my paperwork out of her hand, went over there and processed it and let me get my product and sent me on my way. Sent me something in the mail so I don't have to do that again. Here, you can renew it. They sent me, they sent me something just last year. Said, here, you can renew it if you want. Because they don't want me to go down there teaching, But my thing is, when you walk out your door, you see diversity. Article 3, Section 2. You see diversity. It's definitely diversity because the one that's holding you to war, prisoners of war, occupying our land, is hitting you with the narrative of monopoly of controlling the jurisdiction and controlling your person, the subject matter, the territory, and your persona. And they're controlling that. So if we're not our proper person, we give them that sanction. If we don't know how to speak denotative linguistics versus connotative linguistics, we give them that sanction. Islam, my Lord. Question.
I just, if you are of two mixed races.
There's no two mixed races. That's that. Get out of that. But finish your question.
Okay. Where would you go for your nationality?
Well, first you have to understand what nationality is and declare it. And this is so say the nations of the planet. I'm going to use myself as an example. How do I declare my nationality? Well, I grew up thinking I was black. I grew up thinking that I was an African American. I grew up thinking that 1700s bull crap was transatlantic slave trade and I was born from Africa. So I can't really do nothing with that. So the minute I study and I become cognizant, wait a minute, hold on, that's not right. Actually, I have a nationality. I woke up, I reawakened up to find out that all men on earth have a nationality. So what's mine? Now I'm doing a self-identity. This is in the law book, John, Institute of American Law. Now I'm doing a self-identity achievement. Now I'm learning that who I am. Now, it's real simple because I start studying before I take any action. I start studying. Prophet says study, study, study. So what I do is I find out because nationality is a mother. So I just simply find out, all right, nationality comes from my mom. So my mom is this, her mother is this, her mother is this, her mother is this. And then I said, whoa, and in that studies when you're going to find out, that you're going to find that we all connected and we all come from the same mother. That's why I read from chapter 25. Did you catch what? And this also goes out to Facebook. Listen, when I read chapter 25, this is why I always do it, the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation. Asiatic Nation. I'm Asiatic, you're Asiatic, you're Asiatic, you're Asiatic, we're Asiatics. And we're a nation. So, all right, the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation, we are all children of one father. Father not meaning a male, meaning the process, paternal, patah, coming from patah, which is Ikuta. So the process of birth. There's nothing here with mother and son. So the mother gives the process, the father, the mother, father, then comes out with the child. That's a process, not an actual being. So men walking around here calling themselves father are wrong. You're dads, but you're not fathers. You're the mother and father. You got the womb. The child is made in your womb, is it not? And that process is called father. Mooring. You know, so when you're doing that, there's nothing here, but that means you come from mother. We all come from mother. That's why chapter that says we're all children of one father, one process, meaning one mooring process. Birth, birth, birth. One mooring process. And the person of one mother, The person of one mother, one mother, one mother has given you something. Right? So that means you don't have to look far to find out what your nationality is. It's your nativity. You know you come from mother. Mother is more. You automatically more. By birthright. You know your mother is more because she is from the African province, which is part of Carthaginian territory, which are Moors. So if you call yourself Africa or African, you're really saying you're from that province, other than unless you're saying you are a subject of the Moors, you're saying you're Moor. But you don't know when you're saying you're African, you're saying you're Moor. So don't keep on saying you're African. I love it, because you're really saying you're Moor. You just don't know it. You know, so if you can't stand, you can't enforce the law. Now, to your question, never come with the concept that there's mixed. Unless somebody took and made you a pot and poured in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, stirred it up, put you in some clay, and watch you hatch up. You can't mix blood. Just like in the rights of indigenous people when they say a person has a right to change their nationality, how the hell can I change my nativity? I can't do that. I don't change my blood. I'm going to drain all the blood out of my body, somehow still stay alive, and put new different blood in my body. Because you would have to do that to change your nationality, your nativity. You can't. So that's a list nowhere in there. But it must be qualified. And scholars will qualify that. I will qualify that. Now, every person has a right to their nationality. But you can't change your nationality. You can't change your blood. Anybody around get blood transfusions? No. So then I can't be mixed. I can't be of two different races. Because there's only one race on planet Earth. That includes us, the modern Europeans, everyone. Everyone. It's called the human race. It's the only race. That's it. And it's broken down into families, what we call nations, nationalities. We bear nationalities. So you are what your mother is. And you could be Moorish, olive complexion, and still be an Albion. Oh yeah. Because they amalgamate. That's why the Bible says, let's stop amalgamating with the pale skin nation. Because you're looking out there, you got Obamas out there. You're looking out there, you got people like Holly Berry's out there. You got people like, what's that, Mariah Carey's out there. Yeah. And Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah, your mom is European. You are what the mother is. Chapter, you are all children of one father, one mother's breast is given a son. So that's clearly right there. You are across the board, across the planet, on every human race being that calls himself a human being, on planet Earth. You come from mother. You do not come from father. There's no blood and no sperm. There's blood that moves. I know when you go and the baby is born in the hospital of a dead mother, that baby comes out, there's a whole lot of blood. Enough to make the, whew. I ain't lying, I see that much blood. Whew. I know that much blood. That's what's been passed out. I'll be honest, that's a lot of blood.
But we came from the rib, remember?
Yeah, but we came from the rib, yeah, right? But I don't see nobody with a rib mark. Our birthmark should be here. We should be our navel. We should have no navels. We should have an umbilical cord to our rib attached to the man. And then y'all got one too. So and on top of that, if we came from the rib, every man should be walking around here with one less rib than he got. Yeah, that's possible.
Thank you.
You know, so you can't walk around with no rib, the one with minus a rib. And then you ain't got no mark there that shows that, all right, it should be a tear there or something. If we came from a rib to make a baby? So you're saying we're going to have intercourse and a rib is going to come out of my penis instead of sperm. It's going to somehow lodge up in your womb and form into a baby. Mother, all I'm trying to tell you is that there's no race but the human race. Your nationality is based on your mother. Because we have families, it's only, all of us have, we're broken down into families or nations, you know, even with the European nations, Christian nations. So, we all come from one mother. Mother, the nationality is determined through the bloodline, through the mother. So, we can't say terms like we're mixed and things like that. Islam.
I'm sorry, Islam. Thank you for that. I just want to address something that's on the feed. In Roger Johnson, I'm not going to put you out there, but I am going to put you out there because you put your words out there.
Mm-hmm. Roger Johnson?
Yeah, and your words supersedes whatever actions that you may decide to take later. But the platform, A House of Reawakening Minds, we operate on the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And yes, we have been going through a lot before you even decided to agree to come on this earth plane. Let's just start right there. We are under occupation, number 2. Number 3, we will come out of this, and even if you don't see it in your lifetime, you can come back and you can do it again and help out again. That's number 3. But as far as the gun, it's a thing that keeps changing, rights to wrong. The gun is so primitive. The thing, it wasn't a gun that got us this far. It wasn't a gun. It was a pen. It's the pen. Yes, there's been wars. There's been a lot of wars. But those wars are what kept us free during that time. And if you go back in history, you can look at the Yamasee and the Gullah Geechee wars and things of that wars that they, call them the Negro Wars and things of that nature. We have fought many battles. But let me tell you, those battles didn't change too much. What changed when they decided to sit down and start writing. The pen changed it all. So this writ class, understanding etymology, understanding knowledge is what will liberate us. And if we don't get that, if you don't put your pen to work, you might as well not even pull your trigger. So one of the things, I'm not even going to get on the point of just, the appellation itself, because I know a lot of people haven't changed their appellation online. So I'm not going to get on into that. But brother, what I will tell you, the gun is not the answer. It's your pen and your spirit.
Yes.
Continue, brother. Thank you.
Yes, that's what I'm going to put it up there. The pen is mine and the sword with God. When they overthrew the government in 1861, stepped down and died. They didn't use a gun. One little bit of gunpowder, no bullet. When Abraham Lincoln, after the bankrupted debt, Copernicus style of the United States of America from 24, Benjamin Franklin, when he bankrupted that, and they assassinated him for that, before he could reinstate constitutional provisions, and we became prisoners of war under martial rule. They didn't use a gun. They used a gun to assassinate him. But they didn't use a gun to, do that. That was already done. So they assassinated him because the paperwork, the pen, had already went into effect. So when Noble Ali came and established the Canaanite Temple in 1913, and Woodrow Wilson went on Jekyll Island with J.P. Morgan now, so the government, they used no gun. They used the pen. When they send you a so-called summons suit, they're using the pen. When they send you something in the mail, in the bill of retail, bill of exchange, and they say, Delaware State versus you, or this or that, they're not using a gun. They're using a pen. When they're using anything against us, they're using under color law of pen. So just type it up, yada yada. It's the pen. It's the clerk. What y'all don't realize, it's the clerk of court. Not the so-called judge, not the so-called attorney, It's the clerk of court. That's the one, that's the queen on the chessboard.
Thank you. The county clerk.
And what does a clerk do?
Record.
And how do you record?
With the pen.
Don't need no gun. We're not going to take our birthright status and standing competently by being violent.
That's right.
We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We live by principles, constitutional principles. That's what nations go by. If you want to go violent, you're not even being aligned with your nation because your nation ain't down with that. Now, if you're in line with your nation, now you have no reason with your nation so that you don't have no sovereign capacity to act. If you have no sovereign capacity to act, you what they can brand is what they call a sovereign citizen. Then on top of that, I did not hear your title to the land. I did not hear your sovereign status or capacity by way of your title to the land demonstrated by your ill event. You're still going as Johnson. Don't we make jokes about that? Ain't that in law, Smith, Jones, and Johnson? Well, here's Johnson. They talk about you, Johnson. Scholars all around the place talk about Smith, Jones, and Johnson. Letting you know, Johnson, that that's a servitude, so-called slave name, that you are under jurisdiction of property of Great Britain, using that surname. You have no sovereign capacity to act, and you can only use an attorney, Johnson. So I guess with that lack of knowledge, you do got violence in your mind. You do want to pick up a gun. But see, I don't need that. I can make them run with my pen faster than you can make them run with that bullet. Islam? You know, I don't need no gun. I don't have a gun in the house. I don't like guns. You know, and it's not that guns kill people, people kill people, but I don't like guns. They're too loud. They leave a mess. And they can't take back what they start. Meaning once you come out that barrel, it's bent. Oh, I made a mistake. There's no real error there. Oops. I didn't mean for the baby to get the bullet. Oops. How you going to do a real error on that? Oops. No, then what message are we sending? What message will we be sending if we stand for love, true peace, and justice, love, true peace, freedom, and justice? But yeah, we all want to walk around here and talk about, we want to have to get guns and shoot this. No. Yeah, we had war, but we prisoners of war, we held under occupation. But you use the pen, you use the mind, you use the concept. You don't even have to come out your house. You don't have to come out your house. You can stand right in your living room, in your bedroom. And if your concept is right, you can project to the esoteric and the ethers, and you change the thing. You don't have to come out your bedroom to really enforce law. It starts, like the prophet said, law starts with you. So if your mind is right, and you stand in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, you comprehend that nations have constitutions and principles. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Principles. Constitution and support principles. When you stand there like that, you can change right in your mind, and it changes the atmosphere. But now I'm getting on the metaphysical teaching. So I would suggest to brother, I'm not going to call you Johnson, I'll call you Robert. Brother Robert, get rid of that Johnson, get in your proper person, enforce the law. You do not need a gun, you need a pen and study. Come on, man, we need you. We don't need you over there talking about violence. And has there been enough violence on this planet? All these shooting up schools and churches and you talking about a gun? That's not how we're going to win this. And we've already won. But if you study, you will see that. If you study, you will see we've already won. And it's not a matter of us winning or losing. It's about a matter of us coming back to order, bringing the planet back to order. You know, because when we come back as the mothers and fathers of civilization, when we're reawakened and we come back to what's right and just, the planet will get in line. And we won't have this. And it's not for you. It's not for me. It's for our prosperity. We already messed this up. Our parents messed this up. So at least we can do in this generation is fix what our parents have done. Because our ancestors did it right, and then we muddied it up. And then we let little pieces and all these brothers want to be politicians come in. Now, next month, I want you to tune in, Brother Robert, because I'm going to come up here and shock the world. And I'm letting you know, I'm going to give you a little preview taste. So y'all don't be scared when I come up here. Well, you're going to see me come through that door, and when the camera go on, you're going to see a Ku Klux Klan, white sheet, and white hat on. And I'm going to talk to you. And then, midway, I'm going to put it off so you can see. Every time you look out there, you see a brother or sister with that badge on and that uniform on, and not knowing that that's the Knights of Malta, Knights of Columbus, Ku Klux Klan, you will know next month. I've been working on that. So I was working on that so much, I was got sidetracked from this class. Because I got into it. I said, whoo, when I was telling you on the phone, I said, whoo, I said, man, I hope this is going to get me, well, if it does, it does. I did my work. Because if the people get it, then I did my work. But I'm going to put it out there. Because they y'all need to know. You need to make the connection. So you can stop supporting your family member who might be your brother or sister or uncle or dad or who works for the corporate security, calling himself a police officer with his complexion, his bloodline is Moors. He's a traitor. She's a traitor. And I'm going to give you the proof. And I hope they listen so they can see, damn, this is what I'm doing when I put this uniform on. Man, if I was back in the so-called servitude slave day where they was raped and burning crosses and hanging us, and we had that sheet on, and you caught me, and y'all knocked me off my horse and caught me, and the rest of my team rode off, and they said, we got us one. Hang him up. And then they said, well, first, unroll me. We want to see who this way was on cracker. We want to see who this cracker is. Let's unroll him, because he might be Mr. Johnson with the store down the road. So let me see. And then when they pull a sheet off. And when they pull the sheet off, you see a brother or sister in that hood. What do you think we would have did back then? What do you think we would have done back then to that brother or sister after we pulled that off? You've been riding through here on raised with these mugs and whooping and hanging and burning crosses and shooting up, and you one of us? Now I'm going to make the connection. But I'm not going to design for this class. So tune in. Because I'm going to be something here white. I tell you, I'm going to do props and all. So let's get back to this constitutional challenge and state statute. That was just a spin-off to ask you a question. To make sure you cognizant and you clear that there's only one human race. We all come from mother. And your nationality is determined, and your bloodline is determined by your mother. So if I'm coming from Russia, and my mother is Russian, my nationality will be Russian. Because my mother's Russian. Because she was not only just born there, but that's her nativity. And so if I'm from the North Gate, American, my nationality is American. So then when they call themselves American, they still on birthright, not nationality? If they come from there? But we don't challenge it. And we don't need a gun to challenge it. How about this constitutional state challenge the state statute? But say, and this is to you, Brother Robert, if you get in your proper person, you drop that Johnson, you study, you get in your proper person, and you realize you beg, Brother Robert beg, you beg. Mm-hmm. Now you can, anything that comes at you, you can challenge because you have judicial standing. You can now, because you're in line with your nation, now you can demonstrate your sovereign capacity. Now you can stop them from hitting you with terrorist attacks. So, I say that to say this. All of us, I don't care if you're bored, mind European, whatever. It's time for everybody to press it on. Get your proper person. Because they even have remedy. They even have remedy, you know. It's not like we screwed modern Europeans. They got remedy too. But you gotta stop pretending to be me. As soon as you stop pretending to be me, watch how effective you be. You go on that so-called venue and you facing a so-called foreclosure, you coming in as an Italian. Because you didn't have property. You go there as an Italian, you ain't playing that game. I'm not American, I'm Italian. And American. So I'm speaking on, you know, I have a right as a being, you know. And so you speak on that sense, but we have to stop mixing the apples and oranges and claiming other people's statuses, and other people's nationalities, and other people's birthright. Because if you calling yourself black, or you saying you calling yourself a surname such as Smith, Jones, Johnson, Weiss, whatever, Murray, whatever, and you saying your property, and you saying you a descent of an Albion, and you cool with that? You saying you black? You being the person in the place of somebody else. And so how you gonna get rid of me like that? And so this means nothing. You know, that means nothing. And I had to sidetrack with that because I know they're listening. And I know he's not the only one. I know there's a whole, you said numbers be up to that number. I know it's a whole bunch of you out there that's not your proper person. That don't know your nationality. And so you're looking for remedy. And I would have to stop you. Because you're looking for remedy, and that's why what's keeping this mess going, because you hear all this information and you're ready to act. Now, I did that when I first proclaimed my nationality, and I sent off to the Secretary of State, at the state level, my writ. It was a rally, it was the Times Public Race, she had to do the rally for, this was dealing with a so-called foreclosure. And I sent it to word off, but guess what I used? I used that in Lakers. You know what that so-called Secretary of State at the so-called state level said? You don't have to just stand out. This has no authority. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I said, well, let me step back and look at my own boo-boo. Oh, I got that legacy still there. And I'm trying to enforce the law. What's that problem? I'm not a proper person. I don't have sovereign capacity to even speak. I'm in a minor capacity, not more small numbers, meaning a child like mine in an adult body. So therefore, I'm still viewed as competent. And if I'm viewed as competent, I'm automatically black, tagged, dead. No authority. So when I corrected that, sent it back out, boom, I got results that were in my favor. That's proof positive that you are not going to enforce this law unless you are correcting your status first. So for those that have done that, here's the constitutional challenge. One second. Now this. Tiny page? Hold on, just 1 second. I'm talking on 50 darn pages. Alright, let me come up a little bit. Here we go. Please forgive me, give me 1 second. I just had, I just flip through the dead wrong page. Alright, here we go. I'm going to give you I gave you the rule. It's 5.1, right?
Yeah, 501 Title 28.
Yeah, that's the page. I don't know how I lost that on page. I had it open to that.
You wanna read it?
Huh? No, not that part. I'm looking for the rest that follows. I'm trying to see where I was leading off from that page. Give me a second. Leading off from that page. Where is it?
Brother Johnson, we do understand that the education we have is not your fault alone.
Yeah, we love you.
We do understand that, and I deeply love you, brother, we do.
Yeah, we love
We have to understand that we all been set up to fail.
you. Yeah, we
But
got it.
here at the House of Reawakening Minds, that's why this platform was created, to help reawaken that which was already in you.
Mm-hmm.
We do understand that there was a mission formed by the Rockefeller Foundation in 1908. We do understand in 1938 they also created what you call the General Semantics Movement to change our language from having a denotative tongue, a right tongue, to a connotative, which is slang and vulgar. We do understand that. However, we do also understand there's certain things that, from an esoteric standpoint, that when you place in the atmosphere, those things can manifest themselves within you to make it feel that that's your route, and that's not the route that you would take as a Moor. And especially whether you're conscious of being a Moor or coming into your being and operating in that, we do understand as a process, and it's a very unsure process because there's a lot of harm that has happened to Moors and still occurs. Moors is trying to come out of this. I wouldn't call it the matrix, because the matrix means a wound. So this is any type of wound, or this wound is tainted. This is a system that was built. Thank you, Brother Smith. This system, it ain't broke, but it was built this way. You're absolutely right. So what we're saying here is, at House of Reawakening Minds, is that the words that we speak will liberate us and our children's children. Islam, on the floor.
Islam, thank you, Mother. And to come back off of that, also the words we speak can condemn us. If we're not speaking correctly, jurisdiction, right words. All right, I left off with that rule. Now, you're going to do a notice of constitutional challenge. That's what you would write it as. This is why you would title the writ. It would be notice of constitutional challenge. I'll give you a minute to write that down. Notice of constitutional challenge. Here's the other part. To statute. So it would read notice of constitutional challenge to statute and affidavit to intervene. Here it is entirely. Notice of constitutional challenge to statute and affidavit to intervene. All right? This is the heading of your document. All right? Now you will write the defendant in the above. The defendant in the above style case. Write that out. The defendant in the above style case. Now, that defendant, because they're making the implication that the defendant is that in his legacy. So this is where you would put in brackets, now parentheses and brackets, that is legacy. Don't all cap that, because that's what they do. So, the defendant, brackets, all captains, legacy, in the above style case, also known as, now this is where you put your proper person. This is why I said, in order to make this effective, you must be in your proper person. because the very verbiage suggests that. And if you're not any proper person, how you gonna stop it? But known as, you'll be using the same thing, and which is going to negate the whole instrument. So you want to make sure you differentiate yourself from that instrument. So the defendant, all caps bracket, that they're using to apply that. Now, it's going to read the defendant, you're going to put it in a bracket, all caps, then it's letters. Then you're going to write next to that, in the above style case, also known, also known as, then I'll use my appellation and title. Aaron R. Shield. That person is nationalized. Meaning that natural person, I am nationalized. Now we don't deal with UCC, so I'm qualifying as a read because I wrote everything down in my study, so I qualify as a read. So, I'm not going to use the UCC, so I'm going to leave that out. It's optional, so I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to leave mention it. Then you're going to give the free national name or transit or transmitting of utility that applies. And you lay it out just like you laid it out. Now, that person is nationalized as that person, I am nationalized as, state your appellation, as the intervener. So you're going to read the defendant, all cap, in the slaves and brackets, in a above style case known as your proper person, also known as you, and you state your proper person, intervener, moves this. Now we know there's a meeting room disguised as a court. Right? But since they're alleged to be that, you can put that term alleged. Moves this alleged court pursuant to, and when you go to pursuant to, now that's when you pause. You stop your writ, set it to the side. You go to the corporate state, whether it be Delaware, Jersey, Pennsylvania, whatever, and you find the code that applies. Like say for those that near Georgia Corporation, it would be example state code OCGAG, meaning Georgia, dash, it would be OCGA, meaning Georgia, dash 9-11-24. That's a state statute. The state statute that says that you have the right to do this. So you go find that one for Delaware, Pennsylvania, Jersey, and you say, that's how you validate that you have a right to speak. You do have a right to speak, but you must be a proper person. Right? Now, in order for me to intervene as a plaintiff in the above style action, on the ground set forth in the affidavit, see affidavit filed on and you include the date. Now I'll read that again. This is after you found the state code that it applies. So if you are, I just use the Georgia Corporation for example. Now I have the PA one, but I don't have it right in front of me because I use that one. So you find the one, if you domicile near Delaware, you domicile New Jersey Corporation, you find that it'll probably say OCPA if it's Pennsylvania, OCDE if it's Delaware, and then I have a series of numbers with it. And you use that in the affidavit to say, hey, wait, I got a right to speak. Even by your own code, I have a right to state code, I have a right to speak. Some challenge the statute. That way they take you to contempt. You use an agency, thing. They can't follow contempt. Oh, wait, we give you the right to do it. Hey, wait a minute, right here. So see, because when you're a proper person, you have right to speak. They can't shut you up. As long as you come competent, they can't shut you up. So you just come competent, it's right there. The law is written. They have to leave remedies of their occupation. But if we don't know our rights, wait. It's right there. You Google it. You bring them on, and you find the one that's for the area where you domicile, and you then once you write that down. So once you get to that part where it says the defendant in the above style case, known as all caps and slaves. The defendant, all caps and slaves, because they know the state of Jersey versus they put the appellation in all caps. So that's why you hit back with that. So you go, the defendant that they're referencing, but you don't say that they're referencing. You just say the defendant, and then you put in brackets all caps so they know what you're referencing. In the above style case, known as, and you put your appellation, intervening moves this alleged court pursuant to, and you find that code, that state code that gives you the provision, well, doesn't give you the provision the Constitution does, but so they don't get you that so-called contempt. You find that state code that says, that statute that says you have the right to do this. Remember I told you statutes are not wrong, only when they have the right to the national people, so you have to use them. So that's how you can challenge it. So then you come back and you say, in order for me, once you have the code, you come back and say, in order for me to intervene, in order for me to intervene as plaintiff in the above style action on the ground set forth in the affidavit. Then you say, see affidavit. All right? And the affidavit, you will have the ground set forth why you even challenge it. They're trying to do a alleged foreclosure. I won't challenge that statute. They're trying to say I'm sued on they're trying to say I'm being sued. You say I got 10 minutes left? All right. So this is very long. I apologize because I got kind of off track. I'm not going to be able to get into all of it, but I'll give you a brief synopsis of it. And I want you to do the studies on it, because once you do the studies on it, you're going to know how you're going to want to word it. You might not even word it the way I'm wording. You might make some alterations, but keep in mind, you're going to stick with the denotative presentment of your words. So you're going to make sure you're not connotatively speaking words that's in their narrative, right? So I'm just going to read it, and you can, if you got a way to record it, you can record it and rewind it back, where you can just hear me repeat it over and over again so you can write your chance to write it down. So just let me read it out, because I only got 10 minutes left, so let me get as much of it out. So in order for me to intervene as plaintiff in the above style action on the ground set forth in the affidavit, see affidavit. Then I find my state code, they find their state code, and you go online and Google it, and you challenge the Constitution with an affidavit. Make sure, and you affirm. All right. Then you write under that, the proposed claim of advocate is set forth in the pleading attached as, boom, quote, notice of constitutional challenge to state statute, affidavit to intervene, end quote. And you put your appellation, date, and contact. And that's basically, it's short. And you find a code that, like say, for example, they do a foreclosure, alleged foreclosure, and that's under a certain statute that they're using to say, I can foreclose on your property, by way of the statute gives me that permission. All right, and you say, all right, I want to challenge that code, that statute. And I want to do it with an affidavit to intervene because I want to challenge that because that statute abrogates my liberties. As I have a right to my property. As I have a right to my household goods, my conveyor, my automobile. So I want to challenge that statute. And you use it across the board, whether it's for your car, your house, whatever. I want to challenge that statute, and you find that statute that they're using, and you challenge it by that rule. Then you also go to the code that so-called state that your domicile here to say, you found under the state code that applies to that so that you can speak. Then you just simply challenge the statute. by those words that I gave you. By the way you worded it out. And if you got a record, you can wind it back, what it's saying. What I'm saying. And then once you do that, you get a certificate of service, your cover letter, and you're going to be sending it to the one who's commands your performance at law, or allegedly so-called foreclosure ticket, if it's a so-called ticket, you're going to send it to that minister or clerk, just person as a judge, or of a so-called foreclosure, you're going to send it to the CEO of that so-called bank. Make sure that if you're dealing with foreclosure, get out your paperwork. When you went to that so-called closing, you built up a lot of paperwork. If you refinance or such refinance, you built up even more paperwork. Look through that paperwork and find the trustee asset, the asset-backed trustee. Asset-backed trustee. There's going to be a series of numbers next to that. And if you refinance, it's going to have that year, that series of the year, 2006, 2000, whatever year it is. So when you see that, then you find out who that trustee asset-backed trustee is. It's going to lead you right to that bank. Preferably, it's going to probably lead you to J.P. Morgan or Bank of New York Mellon. Yeah, because they're the main two that's holding everybody's mortgages. Y'all didn't know that, huh? You think it was Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo's under J.P. Morgan. Who's under Bank of New York Mellon? It's only one bank, guys. One bank. If they told you it was just one bank, and you went out your door, everywhere you went on this continent, no matter where you went, all you see was Wells Fargo. You go to the so-called federal building, all you see is Wells Fargo. Well, then you would go and just, everybody knows, but how do they keep the fraud? Oh, we got Citizens, we got City, we got Wells Fargo, we got Prudential, we got all these different branch names, but one bank. One bank. I know that for a fact because when I traced all that back, it went all the way back to Bank of New York Mellon under the CEO, Gerald Hassel. Hassel. Gerald Hassel. And you also send notice to James, and parentheses, Jamie, last name, Dimon, D-I-M-O-N. They're holding most of the stuff. Yeah. Look on, and if you see anything different, let me know. Send me an email, let me know, because there be some others out there. I want to know, because I like to come at them all. But look on your paperwork, and if you have a house, look at that trustee, asset-backed trustee, and a series of numbers. They're going to tell you what, and usually, when they're trying to send you that so-called foreclosure, it's usually right there. That's how I found out, dummies. Because I was having a tough time searching for them, but when they sent those so-called 92 statements, they sent the foreclosure, that's in there. Because I said, well, wait a minute, I thought I was dealing with Wells Fargo. I thought I was dealing with J.P. Morgan. Because Wells Fargo had transferred, when I did a so-called refinance, transferred it over to J.P. Morgan. But then it went to a select portfolio, another lender, and then it went to, I said, wait a minute. So when he started trying to come after me, I said, well, who the hell is coming after me? Is it J.P. Morgan? Is it Wells Fargo? Well, who the heck is this Bank of New York Mellon? So then I started my studies, and I said, wait a minute. That's the asset-backed trustee. The FOFR. The FOFR, the trustee. Gotcha. Who? So you were the CEO, Gerald Hassel. Well, here you go, Gerald. Here you go, Gerald. You saying this, that, that? All right, well, I'm putting all y'all on notice. I want to challenge the statute, and I'm going to implicate Gerald Hassel, and I'm going to wait for a so-called attorney general to come down and validate that statute. So both y'all are asses. Both your asses gone. And guess what happened? None of them came. Why? Because they know it's fraud. Why? Because they know they're holding us under occupation, and they know they're subjugating us, and that they don't really give you a loan. You really extended the loan to them with your signature. They know this. You know. They know this. But now when you come that way, you don't caught on to something. He's challenging the statute. we can't back this statute up because the statute is not wrong unless it, what, y'all? Abrogates the rights of the natural people. This abrogates the rights of the natural people because we talk about going about his own, taking his property. Sounds so good, something that belongs to him. Well, we know that his signature extends the credit. He's got us. I'm not coming down here to validate that statute. Hey, well, you know, you're addressing William Barr. He's sitting there as he acting as Attorney General. You're addressing him. Hey, Will. Hey, Will, come on down. Validate this statute because the CEO of the Pennsylvania Corporation is saying he got validation on it. Come on. Wait a minute, hold up. I want to learn the provost from the Solicitor General because in case you come down here and validate that, they're going to put you on the spot. So it's unconstitutional. That's their obligation to shoot you on the spot. They know that. We don't know that. So guess what's going to happen? I ain't going down. Man, I ain't going down there. He don't set this shit up. I ain't going down there. So guess what? If they don't come, you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. And so when you don't come, he just validates your claim. Yeah. Now you're stuck with your house. You know, and I only say that to say this because I had to go, they kept coming every month. And I found myself giving out, what was it, about 500 in that? 500 every month, trying to battle back and forth. I said, man, I'm going to go pro. They run me around the circle on a hamster wheel. I said, you know what? I'm going to stop that. And I found out about how to challenge. Got me a rule book, so these are your tools. Get you a federal rule of civil procedures. You need that. You need that. You need to write down the statute that you're going to be challenging. You want to study that statute so you know how to challenge it point for point. So bring that statute up and point for point, look at it, study it, so you know how you're going to argue it point for point. Then you're going to look up the so-called state code of that corporate state that down south, that you down south there. You're going to look that up and you're going to find the state code with this series of numbers that states the statute that says you have a right to do that you have a right to challenge that. Now that's your support. Now when you got all of that, you're going to write if you can rewind back what I told you to say, you're going to say that certificate of service, close it out. Now here's where it gets dynamic. You serve William Barr. Oh yeah, he's acting as Attorney General. You want him to come down here and validate that statute. Then you serve the one who's reporting the companion performance at all. They're going to disappear on you. He ain't going to come down. As a matter of fact, to do one better, hit both. Hit one at the so-called state level and then hit William Barr. Hit them both. You want to CC as much people as you possibly can so they can't bury it. Hit them both. And when you hit them both, sit back and watch the family. You're not going to come down. Now, you don't got no more papers coming to your house in the form of, we going to foreclose if you don't come. You know how many papers they sent to my house? You don't show up to court. You don't do this. You don't do that. Well, you don't do that. You don't leave this house now. You don't. I said, I ain't going to keep playing this. I challenge the Constitution. Yeah, yes.
Have you ever used any biblio scriptures in your
On my wrist?
Yes.
Not very, very, very little. However, that's big. You can really do that. You can knock them out with the bibliohelios, which they call the Bible. Because the Bible and the Circle 7 are law books.
Right.
They're law books.
There's one in particular that I learned of, which is Deuteronomy 19:14.
Mm-hmm.
It said, it states, "Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which thy of old times have set in thine inheritance."
That's great.
Which thou shalt inherit in the land of that the Lord thy God, so whomever you worship, give it thee to possess it.
And also, and with that,
so that's like first in time.
Right, and also that's also being that look how beautiful that is. I'm glad you brought that up, Mother Islam. Thank you. Look how strong the biblical text is. From her reading that statement of Deuteronomy. What verse?
1914.
1914. Write it down. And read it. Because those who can listen, you can listen over again. But read it. Because look how it invokes your right, your religious freedom, your religious right to worship, your right to religious worship. Also invoking the first Bill of Rights. All in Deuteronomy.
It invokes your inheritance.
Right, and your inheritance on your land. And it stands strong. And you can put that in your rent with challenge to that and boom. Yes, 5 minutes.
It's like, no, I'm just telling you that the Congress declared the Bible the Word of God.
Right.
And that above, only thing that's above that
Mm-hmm.
is Allah.
That's Allah. So there you have it. There you have it. Dr. Naila has spoken that the alleged Congress, those that have put that copyright office, they have said that the Bible is
The Word of God.
the Word of God.
And then they put Allah
And
above
the only thing about that is Allah. Meaning that you can
So there's a lot of covenants
right.
in the Biblios.
Right. But if we don't know how to get our concepts right, and we don't know how to use the terms right, and our verbiage right, because our concepts wrong, we won't be able to make what you just said. Because you could take and that wasn't colored. That was just straightforward. You can use it word for word out of the Bible. Attach it to your affidavit. And in a situation where you challenge the Constitution, challenge the state statute with affidavit for like your house or any property, boom.
I mean, these are ecclesiastical
He is
laws.
mine. And is that the highest court?
That's the highest court. They practice ecclesiastical laws, which means that
Islam.
they swear, if they're swearing on the Biblios Helio text, which means they have to honor the covenants
There you go.
that are in there.
There you go. You hear what she said? If they swear, and they do, on that, because don't they all rise, the right hand up, I swear to that, and you put the hand on the Bible, and that. So that use it against them. They already set the stage. It's our stuff being used on us, so let's flip the script. Use it back against them. Boom, use the biblical text. I would recommend that. Especially that, Deuteronomy, was that 19? 1914. Verse 9, was that chapter 19? Verse 14. All right, so that would be chapter 19, verse 14. And so use that, because there you go. And that deals across the board with any of your property, any of your household goods. Because it's invoking your right to religious worship, religious freedom. That's the first Bill of Rights. Now you're invoking the Constitution. You see how Deuteronomy, the Constitution is in harmony? What's the law, y'all? Oh, isn't it beautiful? So when you do that in your proper person, because you got a right to speak, you can stop a lot of stuff. And when you do a constitutional challenge, and you do one, and you do, and next thing you know, we all able to competently do that. What's going to happen is they're going to back off. It's going to shut down the housing because even though we're not in tune right on it, because we are dealing with it, and we're doing the best we can on our learning curve, and we're addressing it. Do you know that's making the housing bubble collapse? So they have a housing bubble. The mortgage lenders are struggling. Mortgage companies are struggling. These so-called mortgage companies, but they're struggling. They're falling. And Wells Fargo has done. They're done. Don't deal with Wells Fargo. If you deal with Wells Fargo, you're setting yourself up. I'm putting that out there. And you don't got to trust in what I'm saying. Google it. Google sit down and study. You should be up on everything that's going on with Wells Fargo right now. They're being audited. They're being dismantled. You should be up on it. They don't have bank runs. They don't have problems. They're falling. They're shutting down. If you still got transactions with Wells Fargo, when they fall, you fall. So, if you got a dead pledge with them, constitutional challenge, this is the best time to get that. All these people if you got any deals with Wells Fargo, please, I implore you, attack them. Everybody else is getting them. Why you better get in? It's like a fast acting suit. Don't you want your piece? You better get your piece. They falling, y'all. You better get your piece. So if you got, say, a dead pledge under God's mortgage from Wells Fargo, you should be challenging that statute. You should be coming after them. You should be challenging them, being in your proper person, and challenging that so-called, quote, unquote, mortgage that's really a dead pledge. You should be challenging that. Because you're going to win. It ain't going to be hard for you to win because they got their own battles to fight. So they're going to get you out the way. They got the FBI on them. They got so many investigations on them and the IRS on them and everything that they want to hide. So when you come, if you got, say you got a dead pledge with them, you come with, hey, I'm challenging this. I don't have no payment. You did it because they got so many unfair practices and double accounting. I know I was a victim of it. I'm so happy that y'all fall at Wells Fargo because y'all victimized me. Now look how karma can't come back. Ha ha. So if you don't know what's going on with them, you better get on the internet.
Well, it states.
It's all over the internet.
It states.
Y'all should be up on that.
It states in the biblical text what would happen to them for moving your markers. It states in Deuteronomy 27:17. Cursed be anyone who moves his neighbor's landmark, and all the people shall say, Amen.
What?
What verse?
27:17.
That's chapter 27, verse 17, Deuteronomy. In the Biblio-Helios text from the land of Biblos, which we call the Bible. Which just means to read. Parchment. Biblos. Land of Biblos, land of readers. Hali, holy, sun. That's what the holy is. Now you got holy, Hali, which is the sun, and then you got parchment, Biblos, which is from the land of Biblos, parchment, or book. Now you put it together, you got sun, book. Preacher ain't gonna teach you that. We're gonna have Bible study. When? You teach anybody? I should know that. I should be able to know that. Everybody that has Bible study should be able to say what I just said. Otherwise, they have Bible study. Everybody that's been to a so-called church should be able to say, hey, I know the master seal, the Coptic cross, and how that works, and the whole science of it, from the moon all the way down, and how it relates to economics and agriculture, you know, by way of the simple signs and symbols, you know, laid out. It's more detailed than that. But unless you know that, you ain't been to church. You ain't been to church. And so, what we can do now is challenge this Constitution. Challenge the statute by way of constitutional challenge to that state statute for motion to intervene. I had planned on giving you way more case laws, but to that. But I'll leave you, because I'm getting ready to close out, but I'll leave you and with this. Take your time, get you a dictionary, law dictionary, study case laws. Even if they don't pertain to you. Just go down and, look at it. You sitting in the house on, especially for those who like read books, make that your book to read. Just sit down and open it up for 2 pages and say, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. And make note of that, make note of that, make note. And then now you're erudite, you're erudition. You're teaching yourself. You're self-learning. And then when you do that, you're going to come across so much that you're going to be able to use on your own. You won't need me. I'm hoping that you get back. You don't need me. So you can put the case law together. So that's why I didn't give that many case laws, although I have a ton of them. But mainly that you match it up the wording. So if I'm going to deal with a so-called traffic violation and they try to take my automobile, I'm going to deal with things that's going to help my legal argument support that. So, like I would use the term automobile because automobile in my cause of action is going to allow my legal argument to set up when I start talking about household goods. So I find a case law that deals with household goods, which would be the Constitution. And I lay it out. I think it's Article 1, Section 8. It's in Article 1, Section 8, Article 1, Section 9. It's either 8 or 9. Check 8, 9, and 10. Don't quote me on it. Check 8, 9, and 10. And when you see what says household goods, now you know what household goods, and you look up the definition of household goods. And you look up what they list as household goods by way of the so-called core state. Is that? And you use this. Well, I have a right to my household goods. And then you see car comes under household goods, and you say, wow, automobile comes under goods. You'll never call it a vehicle again. You'll never call it a vehicle again. You'll say, I'm in my automobile. Because when you say I'm traveling in my automobile, that's protected by the Constitution. But if I'm driving in my vehicle, then I come under the federal safety inspection program. They can go whoop whoop, pull me over, run me off the road. So that's just one aspect. See, and the house would be different, and so on and so on and so on. So we want to make sure we double check the verbiage we're using in the cause of action. Because you want to set up his chest. So I want to set you up. I want to set up my cause of action so good with the verbiage that when I throw out those case laws, I ain't got to change the case law because the case law is going to be the same. You don't have to change the verbiage. It's going to be the same. Now you just use the case law that applies to that cause of action and the verbiage you use. So if you're using automobile, you're going to use the case law that applies to household goods. If you're using dead pledge, you're going to get the case law that applies to corpse. Those of command your performance and are under some kind of arbitration, hypothecation. You know, so you're going to use it like that. You're going to match the case law up to the verbiage that you're using in your cause of action. And with practice over and over again, you're going to learn how to tighten your cause of action to speak exactly the verbiage you want to speak, because you know the case law is going to support that verbiage. And then that case law support that verbiage, the cause of action verbiage is in line with the case law. Woo, look out. Look out. Well, you get it. Now you start to get a favorable reply. You don't get a favorable reply because now you know how to use the case law. Because some of us want to just throw case laws on top of this and on top of that and never even read the case. That case might not even pertain to your situation. So make sure the case pertains to your situation and it pertains to the verbiage you're using in your cause of action. Keep your cause of action short and to the point. Write exactly what happened. Exactly what happened to you. They ran me off the road. They said this. You can say what they say. You can say what they say verbatim because that's their narrative. You want to catch them in their narrative. Right? So but when you say, and I responded, I'm going to threat the rest of the coercion. Or I responded, you didn't present a delegation of authority. Or I responded, you're misnomering, you're applying a misnomer that's trying to, was a slander, calling me something that I'm not, which is a form of denationalization. Although you cannot take my blood, you're still doing the act. So in short, instead of saying all that, you're doing the act of conversion. Now when you say you're doing the act of conversion, guess what supports that verbiage in your cause of action? A reversion of a state. You have a right to a reversion of a state. Because they're doing racketeering, and they're doing this, that, and that other thing. Then you can bring in so many other things to support that claim. But you must get the verbiage right. And you must be in your proper person. And if you're facing any kind of foreclosure, I'm coming to repossess your car. That's a foreclosure. I'm coming to, you don't show up to jury duty, we're going to put a warrant out for you. That's a foreclosure. They foreclosure on you. Remember, persona, subject matter, and territory jurisdiction. So when they lean us, they're leaning us by subject matter jurisdiction, they're leaning us by personal jurisdiction, and they're leaning us by territorial jurisdiction of real occupation. So, being that you know that, you challenge all of it. You don't let none of it stop. And so if you have that dead pledge out there, and they're trying to take your house, you find who that trustee, asset-backed trustee is, and you get that CEO, and you go after them. And if they keep coming at you, you challenge that statute. And you do it just like I told you. And then you claim the warranty deed by way of a reconveyance. And when you do that reconveyance, you want to let so many people know it's like you learned the world. Yeah? It's going to cost you. It ain't going to cost you because that's another term. I apologize. It's not going to cost you. It's going to require that the donuses to some extent as far as your CC goes, because you want to make sure you don't let them bury it. So when you do your reconveyance, your CCs might be in a number of maybe 20 to 30 CCs. At least that. Minimum. With the Federal Trade Commission, the SEC, the IMF, the IRS, the embassies, the archdiocese, the international community. You're going to be delivering everyone. And what's going to happen is they're not going to step up. Now you're just in your house, free and clear. What's the next step after that would be, Aaron? Now you put it in trust. Now you establish a trust. And don't negate your own hard work by taking that trust and putting it right back in their jurisdiction. Because we've done that. Put it right back in their jurisdiction by going to file. I'm going to make public record of this. I'm going to put it on it. I'm going to put it on what they call it once there, the city records?
County.
Yeah. Well, the county actually is republic. You put it on the county. But the city, they're doing it with the city, so-called city, going down to these city halls because they think they've been told that you can record this, and that was just dealing with trust. Now, you can make a public record of it, somebody needs to look at it, but really, you don't have this private. That's your soul. It's private. Mine's in my Quran. My Quran is here today, but so when it gets back home, it's going right back in my Quran. And it sits right in my china cabinet, in my living room. So if you ever bust in my door, bang! It's right there for you to see. Error. So I'd like to close out. I'd like to thank Dr. Naila and Montemara and the House of Awakening Minds for keeping this great work going. Because we needed so much, Mother. We needed so much. And I thank all of you that did give me the honor to even listen to me, and we established this trust. I appreciate your love, and I appreciate you coming out. And I guess that's about it. Just take what I told you, what I gave you, and study, Moors. We're winning. We're winning. Just, I know it's a little confusing at times, but if you don't do nothing else, and I can't go back off of Prophet Noble, if we don't do nothing else, let's declare our nationality. Let's be clear on our nationality. Let's be clear what the human race is, what nationality is, and so we can stand competently and take the next step to proclaim it. As my consort would say, go to the top of that mountain and holler it out to the valley. So that way, when you get down there and past that valley, they don't already heard you, they know who you are. And then you stand. Study more. Islam, I thank you for coming out. Peace and love. May we stand and close out with a prayer? Do we have enough time for that? All right. That's 500. I'll put the mic down. 5 on the left. This is my age, y'all. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, Father of the universe. Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali. Amen. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Thanks for coming out and tuning in to House of Reawakening Minds, where we are a holistic center for spiritual grounding, free thought, self-discovery, and more science, an awakening experience for all ages. Upcoming Friday, we have Brother Abdullah Bey. He will exchange places with our Grand Sheikh Tariq Bey, who will be facilitating another event on the first Friday. You have Brother Abdullah Bey. He will explain and go through who should be your true protector and serve, which is the sheriff of the land. Once again, thank you for coming out and tuning in to House of Reawakening Minds.